welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shani. I am a wife, a mother of a beautiful 2-year-old. You hear her back there. I'm a daughter, a sister, a cousin, and all that good stuff. Today what we're going to be discussing is insurance requirements and pre-op tests. Before we get started, I would like to make a disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. All of these statements that I'm saying are based off of personal experiences as well as family and friends' personal experiences as well. And I wanted to make that known prior to me starting. Another thing that I wanted to address before I address it, I have my book here again. And along with me today, I have my book from my actual hospital that will be doing my surgery. They gave this to us at our nutrition class after we were all verified for our surgery. So, another thing that I wanted to address prior to was my statements that I made in my last video, which were slightly false. So I stated that cancer is not associated with obesity or weight. But I'm not sure if I said this, but the cancer in my family does not pertain to weight or obesity. But one thing that I did miss was asthma. Asthma is a well-known factor in my family, and it runs on both sides of my family. My grandmother has asthma. 2 of my younger siblings had asthma as children, and I believe my aunt, my mother's side, has asthma as well. My grandmother on my dad's side has the asthma, is what I meant. Also, hypertension runs on my father's side and not my mother's side. I was told to make sure that I am being honest, so that's what I'm doing. So let's just get started. Oh, wait. I am a billing and coding specialist, so I do have a little bit of knowledge when it comes to insurance and things like that, but I'm still not a doctor. I just wanted to make that known, because if you've seen one of my previous videos, you know that I am a billing and coding specialist, but I don't want to get those confused. I'm not a doctor. So, insurance requirements. I have Aetna insurance through my mother's employer. There are 2 ways that you can have this insurance. You can have it through Medicaid, or you can also have it through your employer. Mine pertains to my mother's employer. I'm 23 years old, so I am still able to be on my mother's insurance, thankfully. So the difference between the 2 and why I wanted to state them is because I personally know people who did not have to have any insurance requirements, or not insurance requirements, but any months of waiting or anything like that. They were just able to go in, give their insurance, do what was needed to be put into insurance, and have their surgery. Whereas with my insurance, I had to wait 4 months, and that is because one of the insurance requirements for my specific insurance is that you have to have 4 months of dietitian classes with a registered dietitian. So that was one thing that was different from another person who had Medicaid, Aetna. I know that she did not have to go through any months of classes or anything like that. But I will get into the rest of that afterwards. Another one of the insurance requirements for my specific insurance is that they want you to have a BMI of 40 or higher. I believe my personal BMI was around it was in the 50s, I'm sure of it, but I am 5 feet, sometimes 5'1". It depends on the day, to be completely honest, and it also depends on the hair. If my hair is trying to be a little bit more fluffy, they can't really understand why I'm like 1 inch taller, but I'm between 5 feet and 5'1", and because of that, my BMI was around in the 50s. So that requirement I surpassed, unfortunately. Another thing is, if your BMI is 35 or higher with health conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, and sleep apnea, those are other reasons why you will be able to have this surgery. As I said, the medically supervised dietitian for Aetna, you have to have 4 months. It used to be 3, but for some reason I had to do 4, so that was something new. Also, a letter of medical necessity from my primary care physician. She had to sign off and make sure this is the right plan for me. I have been working with her for the past 3 years on me losing my weight and getting down to my goal. As I stated, for my height and size, my doctors would like me, well, my bariatric surgeon, he wants me to get down to 130, whereas my primary care physician and my OBGYN, for me to have another child, they want me to be anywhere between 150 to 180 once I spoke about it with them. Actually, I have not spoken with my OBGYN, but when I was trying to have another baby, or speak about having another baby, I should say, she just wanted me to lose 50 pounds from the 320 that I was at that time. And was it 320? Yeah, it was about 320 pounds around that time. And I needed to be around 150 to 180 to 200 for my primary care physician to feel that it was safe for me to have another child as well. And also, a consultation was needed from the surgeon himself for my insurance to okay the surgery. So those were my personal insurance requirements. As I said, that they gave us another book, and they give us this at our basically after our clearance. It's like a dietitian class, sort of, but they have a few extra ones that range for mostly all the insurances that this specific doctor takes. I am through DMC Hospital. If I did not make that known, it's Detroit Medical Center. I believe that's the name, Detroit Medical Center. And this is one of the booklets that they gave us to go back to and read and things like that before surgery and also after surgery that can help us. So the things that they say is the BMI, the insurance company, they want you to have a medically supervised dietitian class, which is what I stated. For me, mine was 4. Some are only 1 class, some are 6 classes, and you go each month. So it's like, for me, it was 4 months and 4 classes. That's what I meant by that. And they also want you to have a letter of necessity from your primary care physician, a psychological evaluation. Mine did require me to have a psychological evaluation, and that was just pertaining to me having the surgery, why I want to have the surgery, and helping me realize the changes that I need to make after I have the surgery based off my evaluation. And you do go and see a certified psychiatrist, and they actually help you, or psychologist. I'm sorry, I don't know. I got the words mixed up. It's one of those two, but they help you understand the before and after process mentally of the surgery. Another thing that I had to go through was a comprehensive nutritional evaluation, which is it's very similar to the dietitian classes, but I believe this is just if you're not required to have a bunch of classes, this is just what you need to go through to get cleared by your doctor, basically, or by the surgeon, in consultation with the bariatric surgery, as I mentioned. A few other things that they want you to have are your pre-op tests, and they included this as part of my insurance requirements, but I'm sure that these were things that were needed for the actual surgery. So on to pre-op test. The first thing that I had to get done was an EGD. Now, an EGD, I'm not gonna say the entire word because I don't want to butcher it, but if you search EGD on Google, I'm sure you can find it. Don't search it now, keep watching. And basically they just take a scope and they put it down your throat, and they check your, your esophagus, your stomach, and your small bowels. And basically, they make sure you don't have any ulcers, any abnormalities. You see, this is why I didn't say the whole name. But they just want to make sure everything there is good. The second thing is a cardiac evaluation. Now, I personally don't remember going through a cardiac evaluation. I remember going to my primary care physician, and she did just a brief test where she put things on my chest and on my stomach and things like that, and it checked, I think it was a cardiac evaluation, but it wasn't like intense as a EGD. I had to actually have preparation for that test. Whereas the cardiac evaluation, I just went in for my regular appointment to get my medical necessity paperwork filled out and things like that. And she did that test on me. My mother, I stated before, she's in the process of hers, of getting hers cleared for surgery. And her cardiac evaluation, I believe, is what was needed for her extra. I'm not sure, but there was a specific test that she had to go through because she's over 40, whereas me, because I'm 23, I don't believe I had to go through it. I'm not sure if it's the cardiac evaluation. I will get back with you and let you know if that is what it is called, but I believe I just had a brief one. Another test that I had to go through was a sleep study. I technically didn't have to prepare for it, but I did have to stay overnight at the hospital so that they can observe me. I did not know prior to this test that I had sleep apnea, but it came out that I had severe sleep apnea. Another thing was the nutrition evaluation, and basically you're speaking with a dietitian. Your blood test is another thing. I don't know all the blood tests that they gave or that they took. I just know that I did take like a full blood test. It was like maybe 5 different types of blood tests that I had to take, as well as my psychological evaluation. Those are all the pre-op tests that you have to take prior to the surgery, not even regarding your insurance or anything like that. These are based off just what most surgeons require you to do before surgery. So even if you're paying out of pocket, you still are required to take these pre-op tests for most surgeons. And that's pretty much it. As far as pre-op and insurance requirements go, it's pretty simple. It's pretty straight to the point. For safety measures, they take all of these things. For payment, they take these things. My personal physician, he does not, or actually this hospital that I am at, DMC Hospital, they very, very, very rarely take cash payments. They prefer to go through an insurance, due to the fact that after you have your surgery, you're really in there for 1 day, but if it goes to an extra day, you can't pay right off the bat. That was what was stated to us. You can't pay right off the bat. You have to wait until after the surgery to pay if you're paying out of pocket. And what was stated was basically you're not sure if you're going to end up having to stay 2 days if you have like an ulcer that has to, be taken out or anything like that. So they prefer insurance payments rather than payments through just cash or card. I know every doctor is different, but specifically for the hospital that I was at, and from my understanding, most hospitals prefer you to get it through your insurance, because in Michigan, you're required to have insurance. I believe that's in all states, but in Michigan, for sure, I know you're required to have insurance. And if you don't have insurance, I believe there's a penalty for that. Not like a death penalty, but I believe there's like a payment penalty for if you don't have insurance. So especially if you're filing taxes, I know that's a for sure requirement to have health insurance throughout the year. But yes, those are it. It seemed like it would be a whole lot. I know it seemed like there would be all this stuff that you needed to do, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Not self-explanatory, but it's pretty easy to explain the health insurance health insurance requirements. Last thing I wanted to state was, or that I wanted to clear up, is that I am not speaking I'm not encouraging unhealthy lifestyles. When I said eat a burger if you want to eat a burger, I'm not saying eat that burger. I really want you all to live a healthy lifestyle. That is what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to enforce a healthy lifestyle while also enforcing it on myself, or encourage a healthy lifestyle, I should say. But I also want to encourage body positivity. I've met so many people online as well as in person that has had this surgery, and they say that a lot of people get discouraged after, and they don't hit the goal that they had set for themselves in 1 year. And it's realistic to not hit that goal after 1 year. There is a lot of work that you have to put in with this. This surgery is not a magical surgery that can just help you be a lot smaller than what you are. This surgery is literally meant to encourage you to work hard on keeping yourself healthy. It's not for you to be a size 0. It's not meant for that. You actually have to put work in. You actually have to work out. You actually have to eat good, because if you don't, you can gain this weight back. And I don't want anyone to feel like they're coming on here and I'm telling them, oh yeah, eat bad after you have the surgery. That's not what I'm stating. I want everyone to eat healthy. I want everyone to be healthy, and I want everyone to have a happy, healthy lifestyle. And that's what I'm encouraging here. I only want to give positive information. I only want to give positive vibes to everyone, and I don't want to encourage anyone to do anything that's not healthy for them. As I did say before, this is a lifestyle change. This is a new mental state after you have this surgery or prior to you having surgery. I know for me personally, I did have a few doubts. I did have people who felt like I should not have this surgery, but I will always say this is a decision that you have to make. This is a decision that you have to stick to, and this is a decision that you have to empower yourself with. I'm here to help you empower yourself, and you're here to help me empower myself. Rather you give negative feedback or rather you give positive feedback, I'm at a place where I need to understand what's best for me and understand that I am the only person that can ultimately hurt myself mentally. So if you enjoyed this video, I really hope you come back for the next one, and look forward to my next video, because I believe it might be the surgery. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.